I'll introduce you to scuba diving with an in-depth look. Childs has been tasked with growing the program from the ground up, and it's been a season full of growing pains that should pay off as these young players grow older.
What's the biggest change you think they need to take this coming up season to turn things around?
All Georgia Bulldog fans know that it wasn't the offense that struggled last season, it was the defense. We have a lot of work to do on that defense, but they looked pretty good in the G-Day game. It's their second year in the 3-4. That's usually makes a big stride, so if they can get their defense under control, it'll be a much better season.
One of the only bright spots in an otherwise forgettable 2010 season was the play of freshman quarterback Aaron Murray, who threw 24 touchdowns and just 8 interceptions, and that's got expectations sky high for 2011. With 2 of his fellow seniors out, it was time for fan favorite Mills to take his game to the next level. The key to stress-free wedding planning is compromise. For instance, I want orange flowers.
And I want pink flowers.
So maybe we'll go with something like
pink flowers.
Like pink flowers. Compromise.
Well, the Falcons are doing everything the right way, and they've got consistency more than anything, starting with owner Arthur Blank and then going down to Dimitrov, their GM, and Mike Smith. They've got a great organization, and they build through the draft. Mark Richt has worked with a myriad of talented quarterbacks during his years as head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, and second-year triggerman Aaron Murray may end up the most accomplished of them all. Some of Georgia's most storied quarterbacks, including current Detroit Lions signal caller Matt Stafford, were on hand yesterday in Sanford Stadium to watch Aaron Murray take his next step towards greatness. One of the only bright spots in an otherwise forgettable 2010 season was the play of freshman quarterback Aaron Murray, who threw 24 touchdowns and just 8 interceptions, and that's got expectations sky high for 2011.
I definitely feel a lot more comfortable. Just my knowledge of our playbook. I'm able to get through the plays faster, get through my reads faster, and that just allows me to execute, just a lot better than I did last year. So I definitely feel, like the game's slowing down for me a little bit.
Defensive back Brandon Smith has had the unique opportunity to practice with and against Georgia's young QB, and he does not envy rival defenses.
He's smart. He know the game. He know the coverage. So it's really hard to play against him because he study every day. He study the film every day.
Murray, who Georgia generously lists as 6'1", may not have the physical gifts of a Matt Stafford, but he isn't going to show up to a game unprepared.
He knows what to do. Like, he's doing his check down, and then backside he knows it's going to be open. Watching film, and that comes time. That comes with time.
Murray threw for 122 yards and a touchdown at this year's G-Day. His game is coming along as expected, but he'll never stop looking to get better.
One of my biggest things, I want to work on my leadership. Really keeping guys motivated, screaming and yelling. My voice is gone right now from just screaming the whole game. So, I think that's definitely a role I need to continue progressing, is just helping lead this team.
So Murray's a very talented player, a very nice guy. It was fun talking to him. And I think even without A.J. Green, he has enough weapons around him that he's going to have a very good second year.
That's right, and he's definitely serving as a leader as well. He's motivating all the players out there, so
that's right. He didn't have any voice at the end of the game, so he was yelling at somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And his team won, so I guess he was yelling at the right people. There are no more competitors, and there's no finish line. Without fanfare, Grace Tinky runs. It's training like this that's gotten her to where she is today.
Her work ethic separates her from other girls.
Grace has set herself at the top of the pack in Central Georgia athletics. She won GISA cross-country championships in 08 and 09, but this season Grace really opened eyes, winning the GHSA crown and doing it in style.
She ran actually the fastest time of the day of any division, 1A through 5A.
After her outstanding championship performance, Grace was looking for a spot at the Foot Locker Nationals, and that was a spot she'd have to fight for.
Well, the top 10 people get to go from Charlotte, North Carolina to San Diego, and I got 10th in that race, and so that was very nerve-wracking experience.
Grace crossed the finish line in 15th place at the 2010 Foot Locker Nationals. She's won multiple state championships in a variety of events, and just recently she was named the Gatorade Cross Country Runner of the Year for Georgia. But things haven't always been this way.
I had done ballet for a really long time, and so I thought it'd be kind of fun, you know, to go out there and run cross country, but I was really bad, and I probably walked like every single meet, but it was really fun.
Spending time around Grace, you get the feeling she finds most things fun. And when it comes to running, the results began to show.
Time's coming down and just incredible just to see her change from 6th grade to the 8th grade year. What a difference it made.
Grace hit the ground running in high school and hasn't looked back. She hopes to return to nationals, but not for the reason you might expect.
I really would like to make it back the next 2 years of high school. That'd be really, really fun because we made a lot of friends up there, and I'd really like to go back and see them again.
The undefeated Fighting Irish are taking on the 6-3 Hurricanes, and now that they've gotten the banners out of the way, things should go a bit more smoothly, and they do for the Hurricanes early as this gridiron god takes the handoff around the outside and into pay dirt for the game's first score. Now the mighty Hurricane defense puts on their game faces, but the Irish offense clearly knows how serious this situation is. They give the ball to their big play back, and he knows what to do. This monster of the midway up his mother's leg, that is, takes the ball and shows speed unlike anything this field has ever seen. He's in for the score, and his cheerleaders want more. The Canes waste no time responding. Look at sprightly number 4 get the carry, and no man or little boy will keep him from finding that end zone. On the sideline, his teammates' spirits are high, but now the Irish defense shows up. Baby Bruce Smith breaks through the offensive line to sack the quarterback. That's such a good play, he gives himself a pat on the bottom. And he's not done. Baby Bruce is in the backfield all day, not falling for the tricks. He's here for one reason, to pull your flag. The Irish offense decides to air it out. He has time in the pocket and connects with his man. That's Big Josh with the reception on the sideline. The Irish coaches and fans are getting pumped, but no one is happier than the players. You'll have to take my word for it. In the end, it's a 14-12 victory for the Irish over the Hurricanes, an undefeated season, and a Super Bowl championship. Yes, Fighting Irish, you are number 1. Mercer University has built a reputation over the years for fielding solid basketball and baseball teams, and this season they fielded another team that's unlike any in the state. When Mercer University decided to start a men's lacrosse program back in 2009, they had a very specific goal in mind.
It's all about recruiting and getting great young student athletes here and students, and this allows us an opportunity to get into high schools that we haven't had a presence before.
The program just finished up its inaugural season, and the recruiting tactic is working to perfection.
We have kids from Long Island, we have kids from Maryland, kids from Kansas, from Colorado, and next year we're bringing in a young man from California. So, you know, we're going to be coast to coast pretty soon here, and we're excited about that.
Aside from the recruiting benefits, Mercer has a chance to make a name for themselves as the only Division I men's lacrosse program in Georgia. But to find success, they needed the right man for the job.
You try to find that strong leader that can take a program from its infant stages to a winning program.
Jason Childs is the leader Mercer chose, a young coach who had previously started a program at Presbyterian College. Childs has been tasked with growing the program from the ground up, and it's been a season full of growing pains that should pay off as these young players grow older.
We're so young that we need to learn how to do everything. There's no instruction book for these kids to read and say, okay, if we do this, if we hit power, we can play great. I think there's a lot of growing going on. Me as a coach, I'm 33 as a head coach. I can learn a lot. They are 18 as players. We have one kid who's 17. He's a player. They can learn a lot.
The Bears won only once in their inaugural season, a 4-point victory over Carthage. but hopes are still high for a team that has only one upperclassman on its 35-man roster.
I think by now to the end of our senior year, it's going to be a huge improvement. It's going to keep getting better from year to year to year.
A difficult challenge stands before a determined bunch of young players, and their coach thinks they'll all be better men because of it.
And they'll remember this as probably one of the most special things they've ever done.
And in other news, it's that time of year. Weddings are springing up around every corner, and more often than not, wedding planning is typically seen as the bride's responsibility. But our own Rick Devens teams up with his fiancée to find out what's the groom's role in planning a wedding.
The key to stress-free wedding planning is compromise. For instance, I want orange flowers.
And I want pink flowers.
So maybe we'll go with something like...
Pink flowers.
Like pink flowers. Compromise. Becca and I had the right attitude for planning this wedding, but what's the first thing we need to do?
A lot of people nowadays do, because not everything is so traditional anymore. They'll send out save the dates a couple months ahead of time, magnets that go on the refrigerator.
What's a save the date?
It basically lets people know when you're getting married so they could go ahead and put it on the calendar before you send out the invitation.
Should we give them a heads up that the save the date's on the way? Clearly I was in over my head, and now I wanted the planners to tell us how we could make a splash at this wedding. I'll wait here.
A lot of the group dances now, the bridesmaids and groomsmen, they're creating their own dance and kind of doing it as a show for the audience. So that's been kind of interesting and fun. That's been the latest craze.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we saw the dance on YouTube and on The Office.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Undoubtedly, the bride has a large responsibility in the wedding planning, but the groom's role is just as important.
You know, usually the decisions are made by the bride, so that she kind of tells him what to do, and he does it. So the ones that are involved, it's great because we get his opinion and want to, you know, it's a special day for both people. So
mostly they just show up in their tux and stand where we tell them to stand.
A groom that wants to keep his bride happy is advised to stick to 4 key phrases. I love it. That's exactly what I had pictured. Wow, you're really good at this. And yes, there's no reason to stress, fellas, because there's one basic truth when it comes to planning a wedding.
I guess it should be the opinions of both of you. It is both of your special day. But we've found mostly that the bride normally gets what she wants.
Yes, it seems wedding planning is a bride's domain, and it's best if we grooms stay out of the way. But some things are worth fighting for.
It's your chance, take my hand, come with me. It's like I waited my whole life for this one night. It's gonna be me, you, and the dance floor, 'cause we only got one.
Reporting from Ingleside Bridal, I'm Rick Devens for News Central.